Welcome back to Bloomington Today. We are now pleased to be joined by Bloomington resident Bob Peters. Welcome to the show, Bob.
Thank you, Caleb.
Well, Bob is here today to tell his very special story, a story that no doubt contributed to him becoming the 2012 Omar Bonderud Human Rights Award recipient. Before we talk with Bob, let me give you a little background on the award. Omar Bonderud, whom the award is named after, was the first chairperson of the Bloomington Human Rights Commission formed in 1968. The award has been given to an individual or organization that has made a significant contribution to ensuring the rights of the people in Bloomington, annually since 1974. And on December 3rd, at the City Council meeting, Bob was presented this prestigious award. Why don't you tell us about the award ceremony that took place on December 3rd?
Well, the award ceremony was hosted by the Human Rights Commission, and the staff was staffed by staff from the Human Services Division, Tracy Smith and Heather and a few other people. They had quite a spread of cake, a beautiful cake, punch, coffee, those kinds of things. It was very nice, very well done. Tables were all set up with centerpieces. In fact, we took a centerpiece home. It's on our kitchen table right now. It's a beautiful centerpiece.
Very good. And were family members and people present when you were presented the award?
Yes, Caleb. I had several of the people who were part of my growing up, quote unquote, in Bloomington, into the disabled community and doing what I could in the disabled community. I had those people present, plus family members that I wanted to have attend and be part of the ceremony.
Good. It sounds like a very fun night.
It was a fun night.
Well, some people may not see because you're behind the table right now, but why don't you tell us a little bit about your story?
My story? In the beginning, in 1964, in the summer of 1964, my wife and I were up in northern Wisconsin at a lake. We were just swimming around at my dad's cabin, and I was playing in the water with my nieces and nephews, and I was going to do a monster belly flop on the top of the water. It's pretty shallow. I didn't think it was that shallow, but I was just going to do a belly flop, so I didn't think it would be a problem. Apparently, my belly flop turned into a dive too deep, and my head hit the bottom of the lake, and it snapped my head back and crushed a couple of vertebrae and crushed my spinal cord, paralyzing me from the chest down permanently and totally.
Okay. Well, much of your work in the city since your accident has been with the disabled community and related groups. Why don't you talk a bit about that?
Well, I moved to Bloomington in 1974, and there were many things in the city that began to trouble me, such as the lack of handicapped parking, the lack of ramps, curb cuts, wide doors, hallways that were too narrow. And you know the old saying, you get what you better be careful what you wish for or you ask for. Well, my letter writing campaign, letters to the editor, phone calls, resulted in me say, or someone contacted me and says, okay, what do you want to do about these things? This was back in 1975 or 76. And I was contacted then by Bob Hawbaker from the community development, from the development organization, and we began the first Citizens Advisory Committee on Architectural Barriers. We began breaking down barriers. From there, everything just escalated. It was a perfect time, perfect place. The city was wide open to suggestions, and here we are with all kinds of suggestions.
Good, good. Well, Bob has also helped coordinate Bloomington Public Schools Diversity Day. How did you get involved in that, and why is it important to you?
I worked at Control Data, subsequently Seagate Corporation. Seagate is a multinational corporation with employees from all over the world. And we are experiencing some intercultural difficulties at our operation in that people weren't aware of customs and different customs, and we wanted to make everybody get along a little bit better. So we began intercultural communications classes. That led me to thinking about where else can we do this? How can Seagate become a good neighbor in Bloomington? And Seagate began a program of, you might say outreach, but we wanted to get people like myself into the community. And we figured out that Jefferson had something going over there as far as diversity. Maybe we could help out. So I went to Jefferson and became part of the diversity committee over there.
Wonderful. Well, tell us a bit about how you first came to hear about the Omar Bonderud Award. You actually nominated people yourself, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Well, I became aware of the Bonderud Award 20 years ago, probably. But when I went over from Seagate over to Jefferson, I nominated the Jefferson Diversity Committee. I wrote the nomination for the Jefferson Diversity Committee, of which I was a member for the award, and the Diversity Committee was a recipient. I also, when I was with Seagate, we had a Diversity Action Council. I was part of that, so I nominated the Diversity Action Council of Seagate, of which I was a part of, and we were also a recipient. And on December 3rd, I became a recipient. So I guess that's a trio.
There you go. Tell me how it felt to win. You know, you've watched you were on the commission yourself at one time. You've watched, other people receive the awards, and you knew the criteria. Tell me what was going through your head last night when you were presented with this award.
Well, last night I was very, very nervous, but excited. I was happy. I was pleased, very pleased at the recognition, and even more pleased that my wife was recognized. I really appreciate that, because this is the lady that's been a lot of people in my life who have been part of my life who have helped, but this lady has always been beside me, behind me, looking over me, taking care of me, doing whatever she had to do. And she was never in the limelight. She always stood back. This is quite a lady. Probably the strongest person I've ever met.
Wonderful. Do you think your work will ever be done? Your mission, your goals?
No, it's a passion. I have got a few things on my agenda yet. I want to work with Tim Anderson as far as Bloomington curriculum goes, and do some work with disability awareness in the schools. And I want to work with Jefferson getting a junior Rotary over there.
Wow. Never done?
Nope.
Never done?
Never done.
Good. Well, it's been wonderful hearing Bob Peters' story. He's a Bloomington resident who is making a significant impact on the lives of people in this community. Congratulations, Bob Peters, the 2012 Omar Bonderud Award recipient.